up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat.
What's up? True Heel Heat.
Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah!
Rob Van Dam, listen to True Heel Heat. Pow!
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Rated Raw Review, episode 31, Bracelet for Drew, discussing the August 19th, 2024 edition of Monday Night Raw, as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by my good brother himself, the face and the ace of the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, and my co-host every single week, most weeks, for a Rated Raw Review, the one and only president of the Liv Morgan fan club, president of the Charlotte Flair fan club, president of your favorite wrestlers fan club. He is Romeo Anthony Colon. How are you doing, good sir?
What up? What is up, everybody? Thank you as always joining us every Tuesday to discuss another Raw here. Let's do it.
Yes, we were on a good streak of Raws, but I think that streak ended. But I know you feel differently because you're the number one WWE show for the channel. So
there's another good Raw. Another good Raw. It's not like that one bad Raw we saw. What was that bad Raw? It was before. I was like, was it the Go Home show?
I'll be honest with you. I'm starting to become like Jimmy McIntyre. Maybe it's because I spend too many Thursdays with him, but I rather a bad Raw than a boring Raw. And this was a boring Raw. But we're going to see how you feel about it. Yes, boring. This was like the worst possible version of everything on this show.
I will
But
take this over that one bad Raw we had, which just like pissed me off. That the sci-fi Raw, the first sci-fi Raw.
I rather a bad Raw than a boring Raw. This was a boring Raw.
But
we're gonna see how all the.
I'd rather a bad program.
Because at
Who
least
says
I'll
that?
have fun. I'll have fun reviewing it and shitting all over it and making jokes about it. There's nothing to make jokes. I'm just gonna talk about the segments on the show and just be like, that's how I feel about most of the shows. Like, yeah, they talked. Not the best promo, not a worse promo. Somewhere in the middle, maybe boring, but we're going to see how everybody else feels about this episode of Monday Night Raw. We appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And we appreciate y'all for helping us hit 17,000 subscribers here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Always appreciate that support from all of you guys. We would not be doing these Rated Raw reviews, the AE Rambles, the flagship podcast, watch-alongs, previews, and reviews of all the shows if it wasn't for all of you. So we appreciate y'all for helping us hit that milestone as we keep going towards our year-end goal of 20,000 subscribers here on the channel. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you're watching us on Facebook, drop the thumbs up, a heart emoji, an angry emoji, a laughing emoji. However, Monday Night Raw made you feel last night. Let us know with those emotes. If you're watching us on Romeo's Twitter, drop a heart, a retweet of the video. That helps out the algorithm as well. But most of all, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys, hear your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. That is the best place to do it. And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you can send a super chat donation. Just hit the $sign. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and it keeps the channel running and moving.
We need it. It's been a very poor 3 weeks here. Rated Raw review here in August. We need to pump up the numbers. This episode right here, we need to pump it up.
This is Romeo's moneymaker right here. Come on, guys.
So what was that? 2 out of 3 good Raws didn't pay off financially in the reviews. That's hopefully the boring Raw is gonna pick business up.
But you see that bad one we did though. That was at the end of July. That was a big money. See, the bad one's fake money.
Was that end of July?
Yeah, I think that was the end of July, the first one on Sci-Fi. Because the second one on Sci-Fi was one of the best shows of the year.
Nope, I got the numbers right here in front of us. That was the lowest of the last 3 Raw reviews that we've done. The bad Raw.
All right, fair enough. Vala B with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Vala B, for the support. He says it should have been a straight up strap match, not the 4 corners rule, which is dumb for a blood feud like this. Not liking the feud since SummerSlam at all. I mean, I think that is like my real source of why I felt this Raw was kind of boring or kind of blase, is that the hottest feud in the company about 3 weeks ago, it does not feel hot anymore, and I feel we're getting the worst version of CM Punk right
now. Well, you know why he's this babyface version. It's first of all, everyone missed him, and second of all, it's to offset all the bad stuff, negative stuff that's been said about him from leaving the place that he left. Look at this new change CM Punk. Oh, kissing babies. He's amazing.
I get it, but it's just like the pandering. The pandering is too much for me. Like I literally.
Oh, I told you.
Yeah. When he's talking, you're like you. I will give you credit. See, this is where I'll give you credit. We might disagree on the quality of the show, but I 100% say that you were right. You said this a couple of months ago that this like CM Punk has like a checklist of how he's doing these promos, and it's becoming more and more glaring, and it's becoming like I'm literally like every promo lowering him down my all-time promo list because it's becoming too glaring of him whipping up the checklist of, oh, let's make a reference to the fans on the hard camera side, a vague reference to AEW. Let's show love to all the fans. And when he talked about, meeting the fan at Fanatics Fest that had cancer, and cancer is something very serious, and that person surviving it is something, emotionally touching and it pulls out the heartstrings. But I'll be honest with you, I literally toned out the rest of the promo when he started talking about that. I'm sorry. It's just like pandering. Oh, God.
Don't forget the other stuff he does, which is something sports related, usually hockey.
He did that last night.
And pop culture references, Taylor Swift. So he pops those in there too.
I'm the male Taylor Swift. I'm the Taylor Swift for men.
Listen, I see what he's saying, because if you know a CM Punk fan for the last 20 years, 25 years, whatever, they look up to CM Punk like these fans look up to Taylor Swift. Come on. The diehard CM Punk fan. I like that line. Some people had a problem with that line, but I could see it. If you know a CM Punk fan, which, I like the guy, but I'm not a hardcore fan. Like, I never seen his ROH stuff. So, but though, yeah, I could see it.
We also got Balabi, though, giving some credit to the show. He says, on the other hand, very much liking Terror Twins versus New Judgment Day when I didn't care for the Rhea and Liv stuff before SummerSlam. I will say that's still going well. And the crowd was hot for that on this show for sure. We got Chilling with Chase, who says the crowd was hot, but the show felt like you on NyQuil to go to sleep, and it's not working. You just drowsy. Yeah. It felt like I very much going through the motions. We're 2 weeks before the pay-per-view. We're going to save our good stuff for the go-home show type of show.
You guys, man. Oof. Maybe everyone was just sleepy last night.
No, it's not. It's not
me.
No, if everyone is saying the same thing and you're different, no, that makes you the minority, not the
I had some good energy last night.
No, I like the crowd. Like you said, the crowd was good. The crowd was
outstanding. Like, hold on.
I'll give the crowd the MVP of the show.
Hold on, now. This is becoming weird. Like, Fort Lauderdale, is that a normal hot crowd? Fort Lauderdale, what?
Well, anywhere in Florida is WWE's base now.
I guess. I'm like, maybe like Miami, Orlando, before Lauderdale was hot. That's just weird to me. I'm like, what?
Big Man Dog saying SP3 is 100% right. Bad greater than boring.
You guys are insane. Bad. You want to go back to that bullshit? That show pissed me off. This show didn't piss me off. You want a show to piss me off? Oh,
I was fine. I was fine with that sci-fi one. I didn't think it was bad.
What? Oh, man.
Bala B says a boring Raw makes no money for content creators. At least a bad/good one does. See?
All right, prove it. Prove it. We're doing good so far.
We're doing good so far.
You guys gotta top them.
We got another super chat donation from I Make Beats. Thank you so much, I Make Beats, for the support. He was showing a lot of love to us yesterday for our NJPW G1 Climax 34 final review. He says, history of persuasive people. Pat comparing Chad Gable to Hitler. OJ hitting the smoothest boss man slam. I don't know if we should call Odyssey Jones OJ. And Miz going through a trash can. 10 out of 10 show for him.
Do not call Odyssey Jones OJ. Just spell it out. The big O. How about the big O? Even though that's disrespectful to Big E. But yeah, and that might get Xavier mad. The big O is easier to type.
We got Safet who says congratulations to 17K. Thank you so much, Safet. We got Balabi says, but hey, you got my money from this episode, so there we go. There we go. See the bar and Ross may show us some love. I guess y'all show us some love that we had to watch this episode. Y'all didn't have to. Big Man Dog saying the most entertaining part was when Scarlett said she was gonna fuck Carrion to calm him down, and it wasn't even on the show. Yes.
What?
Yes. I was like, you want to get Karrion Kross over Triple H? Show this promo.
Wait, how was it said?
It basically, he was like, he wanted to get revenge. He still wanted to get revenge on New Day and Odyssey Jones. And he was talking to Scarlett, trying to figure it out. And Scarlett was like, no, honey, no. She was like, you gotta realize you're like a parasite. You've already planted the seeds. You already see the seeds of doubt growing. It's gonna grow, and whatever you touch, it dies. But since you have a lot of pent up aggression, how about we take care of that?
Put that on. Yeah, put that on TV. First of all, it gives Scarlett a freaking line of dialogue, something she never has every Monday. Yes, put that stuff on TV, a little backstage segment. Put it on in the third hour when the kids have gone to bed. You're good. Yes, make the third hour. I know you're going to Netflix, and like every hour is going to be fucking. There's going to be a dialogue like this every hour, but come on.
We also got another super chat donation from Chilling with Chase. Thank you so much, Chase. Good to see you in the chat. He says, CM Punk motivated someone to walk. What a hero.
Spectacular. I mean, he's a saint. He should be sainted.
He's a saint. He's
CM Punk's many acts. He's got write a book about him. The things he's done in his lifetime. We're just halfway through. It's going to accomplish so much more. Miracles.
Valaby going to the CM Punk formula here. He says it's babyface the location. Outdated 90s WWF.
That too. That's on the list.
Yeah. Random AEW shot that the crowd doesn't get, and then the rest of the promo.
Listen, guys, you are going to get pissed off, heel, bitter CM Punk. I know that's what SP3 wants so bad. It's just gotta wait on it a bit. Just gotta wait on it because he's still in the. It's almost like he's still in the honeymoon phase. Because remember, he got hurt. He missed all that time off.
I get it. We got Valaby says, yeah. See, a Punk motivated me to walk away from this shit. Very well said. But yes, we got to talk about Monday Night Raw, which last night was from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. What did you think about the crowd last night in Fort Lauderdale?
Outstanding. Like, it just makes me wonder, like, are they hot because the product's hot, or are they? Because it's never been a hot crowd to me, Fort Lauderdale, that's ever come to mind before. Like, they're cheering before shit even happens.
The product is hot. It's hotter. It's hotter than it's probably ever been, but at least the hottest it's been since like the Attitude.
For sure, but we've seen in our time doing these Raw reviews that still there'll be like a dead crowd every now and then,
but they're on a good streak of these crowds. It's a good streak. That's the streak that's still going. That the crowds are really red hot.
Yes.
The show kicked off. We see CM Punk, Isla Dawn, Alpha Fire, Pure Fusion Collective, Io Sky and Kairi Sane, as well as the Terra Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley were shown arriving in the building. Michael Cole now referring to Priest and Ripley as the Terra Twins.
Oh, they beat you over the head with that last night. They said it's here. Good. I'm good. I'm glad.
You called for it. We kick off the show with Randy Orton, the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, kicking off the show. But before that, we got to run in. Harlem's here. Say hi to Romeo.
I won't know. The beach.
You got your beach outfit on? We're going to the beach tomorrow.
Yay!
Oh, she is hyped.
She's hyped. She's very hyped. She's talked about it now on 2 different shows today.
Got a little soul Luca on your hands.
I mean, she would do some flips. But we got Randall Keith Orton kicking off the show to a big reaction from the crowd, who the crowd is getting lazy though, with only singing part of his song. I hear voices in my head, they talk to me. That's all y'all get. They don't try to get all the lyrics. Come on, don't be lazy next week. Wherever we at next week, don't be lazy. Sing the whole song. Cole spoke about how close he was to a historic 15th World Championship. Randy Orton says he hasn't done this in a while, but he welcomed us to Monday Night Raw and said the next time he does that, he would be a 15-time world champion. Orton said Gunther made things personal because he just wanted it to be about the World Heavyweight Championship. But Orton brought up, he says Gunther brought up his father and grandfather before turning his back on him and just gave him a reason to beat him up in Berlin. And that is why he dropped him with the RKO last week. This brings out the Ring General Gunther. Were interrupted and he received a ton of heat. You would have thought he was Dominic Mysterio out here in these streets. Gunther said Orton could go ahead and celebrate hitting an RKO last week because that was the only celebrating he would do. The crowd started chanting USA, so Gunther mocked them for only having 3 brain cells. Gunther told Orton that he would never hit him with an RKO again. Gunther would leave him in a bloody mess in Berlin and expose him as a very successful yet very underachieving one-trick pony. Orton warned Gunther that he'd be on an 8-hour flight to Berlin with the boot up his ass, a size 15 double extra wide boot. Okay. Gunther invited Orton to fight, but it was all a trap as Ludwig Kaiser showed up and tried to attack Orton from behind, but Orton fought him off. Orton also fought off Gunther for a bit before Ludwig Kaiser chop-blocked him in the back of the leg. He then delivered a big lariat to Orton as Imperium stood tall over the challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship coming up on the 31st in Berlin. And this set up our main event of the night, which would be Randy Orton going one-on-one with Ludwig Kaiser. This was a good opening segment with Gunther getting a ton of heat. I think they've really done a good job of Gunther kind of getting under people's skin with the way he plays these mind games with these challengers. He did that with Damian Priest, which got big reactions as we got closer to SummerSlam. And it seems like he's done that with Orton after last week's promo on his father and grandfather. What did you think about this opening segment?
Yeah, it was all right. I agree with you about Gunther, but to me, the Gunther Priest promos were more entertaining than what I'm getting so far with Gunther Randy. What do you think?
Yeah, most definitely, because we came in with low expectations to the Gunther and Damian Priest, and we thought it would only be about the World Heavyweight Championship. This is kind of going more akin to that. I like Gunther kind of bringing up the family and that Orton is one of the greatest of all time. That should be the greatest of all time. But I've said this once, I'll say this again on this platform. Orton's never been the best promo. So
Priest has surpassed him. Priest has surpassed him. I'd rather hear
it's really on Gunther to kind of carry the promo end of this.
Yeah. But led up to Orton Ludwig, which I said we were gonna get. Looking forward to that. I was like, this gotta happen sometime soon, and happen the next week. There we go. So, and did you know I saw this on social media that Randy Orton is Ludwig Kaiser's favorite wrestler of all time. So this was a dream match for him.
That makes sense, because when you look at Ludwig Kaiser's physique, it's very reminiscent of a young Randy Orton.
I can see it. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about, who does this guy remind me of? And I was like, he's a mix of William Regal and Alex Wright.
I can see that. Alex Wright is a good shout.
But yeah, he does have I can see the Randy Orton influence too.
Yeah. And yeah, Alex Ray and a young Randy Orton, not too far apart body wise for sure. But you got a super chat donation from I Make Beats. Thank you so much, good sir. Getting a VPN and showing a whole bunch of love
Appreciate
on all these streams. He says, heading back to work. Much love, all. Much love to you. Watch us on the replay for sure, where we show you some love, good sir. We also got Safed, who says the crowd was hot last night for sure. We got Chilling with Chase and Orton kicking off Raw, brought back 2009 flashbacks. That's not good, LOL. I mean, to be fair, I think 2009 is Orton's greatest year. The second greatest year is 2020. I think it was shout out to the Wrestling Premiere YouTube channel. They do nice little video essays about certain periods or certain storylines, and he just covered Randy Orton's 2020, and yeah, it gave me a reminder. It did not end the best because he had to feud with the Fiend by the end of the year, but the rivalry with Edge, the rivalry with Drew McIntyre, Orton was on a tear in 2020.
09 is when he fights Christian.
Oh no, 09 is basically the Viper, when he had the rivalry with the McMahons where he punts Vince, he RKOs and kisses Stephanie, the Triple H feud. He also feuded with John Cena that year and Batista. But that was the time where he felt like the top heel in the company.
Yeah, gotcha.
But let's go here. Next up, the announcers plugged NXT and a bunch during this segment, mentioning that Pete Dunne will be in a number one contenders matchup for the NXT championship tomorrow. But before that, he goes.
Let's send him in there looking strong. Why don't we do that, huh? Yeah.
Yo, I literally was talking to Jimmy during this, and I was like, I would hope that Dunn's gonna win, but I get the inkling feeling that Sheamus is still gonna win this match. But Jackie Redmond,
to set this up, remember what I told you last week, folks. I said when Sheamus's hand gets hit with the what do you call it? The shillelagh? Yeah, backstage. I'm like, there's no reason Sheamus needs to go over this week. No reason. Give Pete Dunne a win. This guy's hurt.
Nope. Jackie Redmond interviewed Sheamus before the matchup, whose left hand was taped up. Thanks to Pete Dunne, Sheamus said that he would get retribution over Sneaky Pete. Pete, I don't want to be called Butch Dunne. He was pumped up and asked Fort Lauderdale if they were ready for a banger. And this was a first-time ever matchup. Sheamus going one-on-one with his former Brawling Brute teammate, Pete Dunne. Dunne stomped at Sheamus's injured hand against the steel steps before the commercial break, and we really got him working over the hand when we came back from commercial break. Dunne repeatedly smacked Sheamus, who no-sold it, and asked him for more. He was like, what are you, butch or bitch? Sheamus fought back, but Dunne smacked him even harder. Dunne dropped him with some forearm strikes and mounted him. Sheamus tried fighting back again, but Dunne targeted his hand. He then hit a 10 beats of the Bowery on Sheamus. Dunne didn't follow up on Sheamus, though, which led to Sheamus getting up, growing stronger behind him, and then he got the 10 beats of the Bowery, were actually 20 beats of the Bowery. Dunne avoided a bro kick and tried a moonsault, but Sheamus caught him midair with a lifting knee strike for a near fall. The crowd popped huge for that. We get Dunne, who came back with a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Dunne then trapped Sheamus's injured hand in the turnbuckle pad, and a great finish here, which was badass on Sheamus' part. As Sheamus was stuck in the elbow pad, he literally, Sheamus couldn't protect himself as Dunne's hitting him, so the referee backs him off. And then Sheamus rips the turnbuckle pad off. He then goes a full head of steam with the bro kick to Pete Dunne for the 1-2-3. This was your typical really good Sheamus matchup, and the finish was awesome. A banger. if you will. Despite the loss, Pete Dunne looked pleased with the damage that he did to Sheamus here, and this was a damn good matchup between these two. Later on in the night, though, we heard from Sheamus, who said that his hand would still be up, but that's nothing that the black stuff couldn't help out. Then he is interrupted by Ludwig Kaiser before the main event, and Ludwig tells him that they still have unfinished business. He told Redmond should be interviewing him instead. After all, he was in the main event while Sheamus was in the opener. Kaiser threatened to go after Sheamus once he was done with Orton, and Sheamus knew that they were 1-1 and was happy to finish their trilogy. In the meantime, he'd be at the bar watching Kaiser get an RKO. What did you think about Sheamus and Pete Dunne? I think the downside, of course, to the opener is that Pete Dunne couldn't get a victory despite, the injured hand and him having a number one contenders matchup tonight on NXT. But I think that the quality of the matchup made up for that. A really strong way to kick off the show. What did you think, Romeo?
Yeah, the quality was awesome. The finish was really well done. Awesome finish. But, I'm just slightly annoyed that this Sheamus just always protected. Protection after protection after protection. Now, he gave Ludwig Kaiser a win. Why can't Pete Dunne get a win? Come on, Ludwig Kaiser get to win. Pete Dunne get a win too. And you could tie that up. You could do 1-1 there. You could get your win back. You have best of 3 with everybody you freaking want on the damn roster. Like, the opportunity was there for Pete Dunne to win, considering the hand injury. So now what? Now Pete Dunne's gonna get a win when your hand's better? Like, it makes no sense to me. But hey, Sheamus and Triple H, man, best of buzz. Used to work out together, man. Those times don't change. I like Sheamus, though. I like Sheamus, and if you're telling me that this is all being used to run back Sheamus GUNTHER, I guess I would assume that's what you're trying to protect him for and heat him up for, because that story writes itself.
I can see that. I can see him picking up the win here, picking up a win against Kaiser, and then positioning him as a challenger for Gunther after Bash in Berlin. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Pay-per-views after that?
Bad Blood.
And they do have bad blood.
They do. They do have a lot of bad blood. Thanks for the love, Frantic World, for the congrats on 17K, as well as Vala B. Thank you so much, guys. But my big nitpick to this matchup, this overall show and this matchup is that if you like good wrestling, I hope you enjoyed that last match, because it's going to be a long time before you see any wrestling at all on this show. This felt like the Dynamite from last week. That's why I'm like, I feel the same about the Dynamite last week that I do about this one, where you have the long gap without any sort of wrestling and nothing like great jumping out. At least with Dynamite, we had some great video packages. We had one really good video package during this period, but it was a lot of setup for future stuff, like an hour 2 between this matchup and the next actual matchup that we got on the show. But let's get into that. Next up, we had the New Day was backstage with Odyssey Jones warming up. Jones left, and Kingston spoke with Woods. Kingston said he's been noticing that Woods' energy was off lately, and he wondered if it was because of carrying Cross. Woods said that Cross wasn't an issue. He's just another person who's trying to drive a wedge in the New Day. But Woods says that he wished that Kingston would have spoke to him about Jones, because he felt like Kingston was trying to replace Big E, and he didn't like that. Kingston apologized for not talking to him first and said that they would never replace Big E. But he does recall what it was like when they first started the New Day and how everyone made fun of them. And it was hard, but they got through it because they had each other and became one of the greatest tag teams, if not the greatest tag team ever. They were family, and that would never change. Jones was in the same boat, though, as he was just getting started. So he's in the same fashion as they were back then. And Kingston wanted to help Jones the same way he wished people had helped them. Woods was actually agreeable to this and understood. He smiled and he says, "You're right. I'm the problem. I'll fix it." Jones re-entered the locker room and gave Woods a big bear hug. Woods faked a smile, and I thought this was good. This was good setup for the six-man tag here. Woods is putting on a fabulous performance with his facial expressions. I will give him that.
I love it. I love it. I thought this was great. First of all, the gear is awesome. The Ninja Turtle gear. That was great. But Kofi, man, there's something about his character, man. Like his delivery did his delivery on all this seem a little bit off? Or or do you just chalk that up to Kofi being Kofi? I guess because he's something weird about him. There's just something weird about the way he delivered all that. But the context of what he said, it's like you want to be mad at Kofi, but like you kind of see where he's coming from when he equated it to the New Day's beginnings. But still, you talk about all this shit with your boy weeks ago. Now you want to have a conversation 3 to 4 weeks later? Come on. And Xavier Woods, man, he's killing it. We'll talk about what happens later. Oh my god. Listen, I want to be on Xavier Woods' side, and I want him to be justified. I don't want it to seem like he's the bad guy because he's not. He's not the bad guy.
No, he has some justification, but you had to have this segment to kind of reestablish that Kofi is being a babyface with all of this, and he's not trying to be slick in any way.
Yeah, to some people. Still something very off. I'm on to you, Kofi. I'm on to you.
They aired clips from Fanatics Fest and all the celebrities who received versions of WWE title belts, as well as all the success that WWE had at the event. They did an excellent job of promoting this event beforehand, and another good job here with the clips from the event. And then we got
hold on. WWE is smart. They are smart. They spend all this money on these championship belts. And like, we're going to find every single sports celebrity, or pop celebrity, and we're going to give them a belt. And we're going to brag about it. Genius promotion. Genius.
It's very
Derek Jeter gets one. Tom Brady, Gronk.
Spike Lee.
Yep.
Kevin Durant.
Everybody.
Braun Breaker video package next. We see highlights of Braun from his start in NXT. We hear from him and how he has been running through the WWE and that he always knew that he would be a success. And then it really highlights his win over Sami Zayn to win the Intercontinental Championship, as well as his victory last week in the best 2 out of 3 falls matchup. Good stuff. WWE always does great with the video packages, and this was no different in hyping up the Intercontinental Champion.
I like my music video packages to be a little more cheesy. I need the cheesy of the 90s back. Don't you like that?
That's fair. That is fair.
This made him seem too badass. We already know he's a badass.
Chad Gable and American Made officially welcome Ivy Now to the team. Ivy Now says that Maxine should have listened to her last week. Gable says that he would change her life, and now says that she tried to warn Maxine Dupree, but she was done letting Dupree hold her back like an anchor. Gable said that they would focus on the YS6 and send them back after Ivy gets rid of Maxine to whatever, and they'll send the YS6 to whatever swamp they crawled out of. And they says, "What are we made of? American made."
Okay, now hold up. All right, 2 things here. One positive, one negative. The positive. Love the logo. I love the American Made.
The logo is amazing. It's an amazing job.
Now the negative. Who the hell do you think you are doing this bullshit, this little pose? Are you kidding me? In this company?
Oh, they think they're Omega, Delta.
F out of here. Listen, I know
Sierra, Indigo.
Nobody had a conversation about this? What? Like, listen, I know we'll probably never ever see the Shield on TV together again unless it's like a Hall of Fame. But still, that's their thing. Don't just take that from them. Come on. Terrible. Do something else. A million things to do. That's the Shield. Don't do it. Terrible.
I was like, this that catchphrase was so corny, but it does fit with Chad Gable. It makes no sense.
Yes.
Because he says, "What are we made of?" And you're just supposed to say, "America." No, he says, "American made." What? You're made of American made? That doesn't make any sense. But that led into Maxine Dupree going up against Ivy Now here. And I don't think this match even officially started.
No.
Dupree right off the rip gets a drop kick on Now from behind. She chucks her around ringside. Maxine looked like she was about to put her working boots on. I was like, are we going to actually see a semi-decent Maxine Dupree matchup?
No.
Now fought back when they got into the ring, took her down and started stomping a mud hole in her in the corner while the referee was trying to pull her off to get the match started. But as soon as she had the advantage, the lights get shut down and the Wyatt smoke enters the ring. The Wyatt music starts and American Made enter the ring to protect Now as Abby the Witch, Nikki Cross shows up. She wildly jumps at Ivy Nile while the male members of the Wyatt Six enter the ring and attack American Made. They get rid of the Creeds while you have Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, and Dexter Loomis surrounding Chad Gable. Nikki Cross re-enters the ring and freaks out Chad Gable and leaves him stunned long enough for Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, to enter the ring from behind, and he lays him out with another Sister Abigail. Chad Gable always sells this like death right on the head, like RVD used to sell DDTs. That's how Chad Gable sells the Sister Abigail. And the Wyatt Six stand tall again. I mean, the look, the feel, the Wyatt Six, they're always cool. They're over with the crowd, but I didn't see the point of this. Y'all beat them soundly. I understand that the American Made said that they were going to come after you, but I didn't see the reason why the Wyatt Six needed to initiate.
I know the point.
But the point really is to set up this for next week. Next Monday on Monday Night Raw, it will be Uncle Howdy one-on-one with Chad Gable, the leader of the Wyatt Six, versus the leader of American Made. And hopefully, I'm going to say this. I hope this is the end of this feud, so American Made can move on to someone that they can get wins against, because they're not going to get any wins against the Wyatt Six to me.
Well, Tom, stop talking shit. Ted Gable was in it was in France last week, talking shit, taking out the Wyatt Six when he comes back. He's talking that trash. And then Ivy Nile, she turned on her Maxine, supposed to be a friend. You know the Wyatt Six hates that when you turn on someone. These hypocritical fucks. They get so mad at that, they're coming after you. So they came after Ivy Nile. American Made wanted to get in there. Bang, we got beef again. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, how many more times can they beat American Made? You're not gonna have Gable beat Uncle Howdy. What? You're not gonna beat Uncle Howdy. Get out of here. No, he's not.
Not in his first match.
That's his first match. Yeah, right. No chance. What's Gable's, man? He needs a draft ASAP. He needs a trade. Like, trade me. Get me off of this brand. Put me on SmackDown. These guys won't leave me alone.
They won't leave him alone. Poor Chad Gable, man. Can Chad Gable get a break, please?
Loser leaves Raw match. That's what it'll probably lead up to between the two factions.
Next up, we get a pre-taped promo by the Terra Twins, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Priest says that Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio would receive their punishment at Bash in Berlin.
I see what
and
they
would start to take down the new so-called Judgment Day. Ripley accused Morgan of becoming what she always feared that she would become, a discount Rhea Ripley. The Terra Twins would put them through the mat in Berlin in their mixed tag team matchup. This led into later in the night, we heard from their opponents at Bash in Berlin, Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. Morgan and Dom did a pre-tape promo, and Dom challenged Priest to a match with no one at ringside, so he thought. I like Liv Morgan kind of saying that they would finish them and be on top just where they like it. I love the feel of this Liv and Dom pairing here, and this also led to Priest accepting the challenge of Dominic Mysterio, and then later on in the night we would see a conversation between the Terra Twins backstage, where Rhea Ripley was actually a smart babyface, talking about how that they're gonna have a plan and that we shouldn't listen to them. That they say that it's gonna be one-on-one, but they know that won't be the case. Rhea warning Priest that it's probably a trap. Priest figured that it was, but said that it would be worth it to get his hands on Dom. He said that they shouldn't stop until they pass judgment on that fake Judgment Day, and Rhea liked the sound of that. What did you think of these pre-tape promos?
All fine. I like what you said about Rhea coming off as a smart babyface, knowing it's a trap, but still walking into the jaws of the dungeon anyways. It's kind of badass, but kind of stupid too.
To be fair to them, it's not really walking into a trap when you so handily beat them up the last 2 weeks. So it's like I can understand her confidence in that.
That is true as well. Can't argue that.
Then we had CM Punk. CM Punk comes out to the ring.
You could hear the groan in his voice when he says that. Ugh.
CM Punk enters with a leather strap around his shoulders. He started his promo the way we all knew he would. He congratulates the Florida Panthers on winning the Stanley Cup. We get loud "Let's go Panthers" chants. He mentioned seeing Roberto Ligon earlier tonight. The fans are chanting loudly for the Panthers at this point. He then mentions that he was at the Fanatics Fest and someone there asked him about the hot streak that WWE and he has been on. He said that it was all thanks to the fans. He said it's all thanks to you guys up there in the 300 section. It's all thanks to you guys over here on the hard camera side. And he said that a fan in a wheelchair here in Fanatics Fest told him with tears in her eyes that she just defeated cancer. And Punk was a source of strength for her.
Big Pop.
Punk thought about his own friends battling cancer and a friend from Taiwan who flew 15 hours just to take a picture with him. Another fan from Jordan flew all the way to there to meet him too. And it meant something to Punk, because he missed them for 10 years. The crowd chanted for CM Punk at this point. He pulled out a handful of bracelets that fans gave him for replacement, and he figured the bracelets were a Taylor Swift thing, and he joked that I'm the Taylor Swift for men. The fans' bracelets looked just like the bracelet Drew McIntyre took off of his lifeless body in Chicago. I have no sympathy for you. You screwed over Drew 3 times before that, sir. Punk said that McIntyre thought he could wash his hands of him after winning at SummerSlam, but McIntyre made it personal. McIntyre was obsessed with him. He wore the bracelet with his beautiful wife's name on it, and Punk had a gift for McIntyre, a big leather bracelet. He says at Bash at Berlin, he talked to Adam Pearce, and there would be a strap match as long as McIntyre wasn't too scared. They would be tethered together, just as McIntyre has been tethered to him since injuring him at the Royal Rumble. And he would drag McIntyre and would touch each turnbuckle to win.
Stupid. Triple H, what are we doing? Get rid of that garbage, that trash. Nobody wants to see that.
Awful.
Nobody.
Fucking awful.
Nobody.
He says that's not why Punk wanted a strap match, though. He wanted it to whip that bitch. He wanted to leave lasting scars so McIntyre would never forget his name, CM Punk. At this moment, this brought out his opponent for Bash at Berlin, the one and only Drew McIntyre. McIntyre thought all week about the violence he wanted to bring to Punk, and now Punk was challenging him to a strap match. McIntyre wondered if Punk had started drinking. He added that, have you seen me? A strap match? I accept. McIntyre told CM Punk to drop the strap, and they would give the fans a little teaser right here, right now. And Punk was about to drop the strap, but he turns around and he actually offers the strap to McIntyre, and he says all McIntyre needs to do is give him the bracelet, the strap for the bracelet. McIntyre laughed and said that no. McIntyre called Punk a liar. He knew if he gave Punk the bracelet, Punk would still whip him with the strap. Punk didn't deny it either. McIntyre said April and Larry were safer at home with him, but Punk warned him that he would not be safe in Berlin because it's not me who's attached to you, it's you that's attached to me. That was a good final line, but they didn't react to it at all. This just felt it felt like it was missing a spark. It felt like
It
it
should have
was
got
missing,
physical at the end.
it felt like it was missing the hotness, the life that it had going into SummerSlam, and it just feels like this formerly hot feud is dragging to only its second match of the feud. I'm hoping that next week they have a hot angle to bring us back a little bit before Bash in Berlin, but it is made official. It will be CM Punk going one-on-one with Drew McIntyre in a strap match Saturday, August 31st at Bash in Berlin. I agree with you. I needed some type of physicality between the two, and it just doesn't. Man, Punk took literally 75% of this promo to talk about anything but the strap match. So, like, I literally, by the time he even said it, I missed him talking about touching all four corners. Like, I was like, when I found that out, when I had to rewatch the segment and hear him say that, I'm like, that's like the worst version of the strap match. And like, I saw some idiot online talking to, because Tempest of Wrestle Talk, shout outs to him, friend of the channel, he hates the red light, green light version of a strap match, a bull rope match, where you have to touch all four corners. And someone compared it to CM Punk versus MJF in a dog collar match. I was like, you obviously didn't watch that match, because that match was by pinfall or submission. That match felt like it built nicely to the culmination of that dog collar matchup. And the dog collar matchup was bloody, visceral. It was violent. It wasn't red light, green light. That's what we will possibly get. Hopefully they don't give us the red and the green lights. Hopefully they just make it.
Well, they need to. We're too dumb of an audience to know when someone has touched a corner. We needed lights.
It's just like, this just lacked a spark. And I feel like this segment is probably why I feel about this segment being dull, because the hottest feud in this company going into SummerSlam doesn't feel as hot anymore.
They should be getting physical every week with the hatred that they supposedly have for each other, unless there's some kind of prerequisite where they're not allowed to get physical, which I thought they had before, but that's before their other match. Like, I don't know if that reset or after the pay-per-view ended, it should, but they should be getting physical every week. Something physical should be happening. And it's only like this week and next week, right? Yeah. And then after that, listen, the stupid strap match with the freaking four corners. I don't know anybody that likes that. I've yet to meet a person. If you like that version of the strap match, please speak now, forever hold your peace, so we know. But I don't know anyone that likes it. Now, will it protect Drew in a sense? Yeah, I suppose. You know, come on. He doesn't get pinned. He'll have reason for wanting a third match, but still, I'd rather a normal strap match because touching a corner has got to be. I can't think of another lamer way to win a wrestling match than touching
Especially
a
a
turnbuckle.
blood feud. In a blood feud.
Touching
What
a
the fuck are we
turnbuckle.
doing?
I can't think of a lamer way to win a match now. Escaping a cage, maybe, but that's still better.
We got Big Man Dog says CM Punk talking about the power of love is kind of crazy, not gonna lie. And he's a big CM Punk fan, so you know. Oh man. We also got Safet who says a good old-fashioned strap match. Please, enough with that shit. I mean, like, that was okay when like it was 1992 with Sting and Vader, but it's 2024, dog. We've seen a great strap match is usually won by submission or pinfall. We saw it last year at All Out with Ricky Starks and Bryan Danielson. Don't give us this red light, green light bullshit. And we know we're not going to get any blood. I mean,
There better be blood. Did Gunther promised Randy Orton blood?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Gunther already promised that he was gonna make Orton bleed. You're gonna make two matches with blood. Isn't that overkill? Isn't that what WWE fans always say? Oh no, you can't have blood in more than one match. It's overkill.
There's gotta be blood. And listen, they're gonna have to get really creative to make a finish that's interesting with this concept. I'm sure the match, before the ending will be good, but you're gonna have to be real creative with the ending, the finish, to make it interesting.
Yeah. Power Driver Finisher says, "You want the strap? Come get it, Punk." I don't want the strap. What the fuck I was saying? Let's kick each other's asses. Yes. I just want these guys to act like they are in a blood feud.
They'll probably get physical next week with the strap. T's getting strapped up together. Wow, that sounds naughty. But yeah. Sorry. I didn't think about the words coming out of my mouth before I said them.
Big Man Dog says strap match with Light is a Gable versus Otis level kind of matchup. Yes,
that's a mid card.
Not the two biggest stars that was on this brand a month ago.
It's like a PG strap match.
It's weird. It's just weird. It's weird. It's weird that this whole rivalry felt way hotter before SummerSlam. Did SummerSlam kill it?
No, they have to get physical. You can't. You're doing too much talking now. You got to get physical.
I think you're right. You're onto something there. We did see Roberto Ligon. I think that is the player from the Florida Panthers in the crowd.
Sounds right.
We got a 6-man tag team matchup of the New Day's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods teaming up with the newest star on Monday Night Raw, or Odyssey Jones, to verse Karrion Kross and AOP of the Final Testament. Nothing much here. Like the first half of this matchup, I think the best moment of the matchup is when Kingston takes the heat and then he tries to make a hot tag. Odyssey Jones is outside of the ring, but he gets up on the apron as Woods has been on the apron the whole time with his hands out looking for the hot tag. And then Odyssey Jones just gets up on the apron, but he is the nearest to Kofi. So Kofi tags him. And Xavier just has this so perplexed look on him. Everyone trading moves. Woods gets involved, hits the limit breaker elbow drop on Razor. Jones hits Akam with the boss man slam and picks up the victory. 1, 2, 3. This match going just a shade under 8 minutes. Woods seemed like he was in a better mood after the win, but still, I think that look that he gave is teasing that there is more to the story to come. But it does, after the video, like the promo that we saw on social media with Scarlett and Karrion Kross, maybe we are done with the Final Testament New Day storyline for now.
No, can't be done, man. Come on. Can't go out like this. Can't lose like this. I thought we were about to take Karrion Kross and the Final Testament seriously. We were starting to give him a few wins here and there, and then boom, it all comes crashing down because Odyssey Jones needs to be pushed. He needs to look good. He needs to look strong. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
that
match
that
was.
that camera shot with the hot tag. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And Xavier Woods hilarious. I'd look that way too.
He's
But
doing
yeah,
a great job.
I'm intrigued
With
by the whole New Day dissension. I'm interested to see where it's going next week. But Final Testament, man. Is that it? Come on. Can't be it.
I actually stuck around after the Punk segment because the Punk segment did not fulfill me for the night, and I stuck around for this.
You stuck
matchup
around for this?
just to see if Woods was going to turn or something was going to happen, and his facial expression was enough for me where I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go to sleep after. When I knew Miz was coming up next, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Go to sleep. We get that's when we got the Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest backstage segment. Then they did a special video package paying tribute to Afa and Hawaii, the same one that they played on SmackDown last Friday. I know
Very
this is your
nice.
first time seeing it. You have any thoughts?
Very nice. R.I.P. Thoughts are with the family. They're having a rough go of it these past couple months.
Cole announced a sold-out crowd of 13,718 in Fort Lauderdale. They also show UFC fighter or former UFC champion Robbie Lawler, who got some boos from the crowd as well. I don't know.
No relation to Jerry.
Yeah. Then we go backstage. Bronson Reed comes out for his matchup. Adam Pearce tries to talk Miz out of facing Bronson Reed in a no disqualification matchup up next. Pearce was on the verge of suspending Reed, but the only thing stopping him was the fact that Miz asked for it. Miz admitted he wasn't sure he wanted this matchup, but he wanted payback for what Reed did to Truth. He says that he didn't have a lot of friends in this industry, but he would fight for the ones that he did. And Miz didn't want to do this. He had to do this. This was probably the most babyface the Miz has come across in months.
Nice. And good job also not ignoring why this guy is not suspended and addressing it.
Yeah. We'll come back from commercial break, and the fight is on in this no disqualification matchup between Bronson Reed and the Miz. Miz getting a big boot early on. After the break, Miz hit Reed with a tornado DDT onto his steel chair, but he kicked out at one. Reed was just overpowering Miz, body slamming him on garbage cans. Miz tried to hit his finisher into a corner table. He was hitting Reed with some kendo stick shots at another point of the matchup. He was just bringing it to Bronson Reed in this one early on, but Bronson Reed was basically just saying, enough of this shit. He gets the kendo stick. He breaks it. He breaks it like it's nothing. Miz tries to the skull-crushing finale into the corner table, but Reed blocked it and puts him through the table with the Death Valley driver. Reed then followed up, dragging him to the corner, hitting the tsunami for the 1-2-3. Bronson Reed picking up another victory over the Miz this week. He was about to hit yet another tsunami, going on the tsunami counter again, when Braun Strowman made his return to WWE, marching out to his music to a big pop from the Fort Lauderdale crowd, and we got a face-off between the two large men, and Bronson Reed did not look scared. He actually looked excited for this fight, and it was announced that next week we will see Braun Strowman going one-on-one with Bronson Reed. This seems like the right person to kind of feed to Bronson Reed to further his big push here, as he would get the win over a former world champion. What did you think about Miz and Reed and the post-match with Braun Strowman's return?
The match was fine. It did what it needed to do, which is further push Bronson Reed as this monster that he is. And yeah, I was let me be honest. It's kind of disappointed that, Miz is the guy that takes the tsunami. I wanted to see Pat McAfee get written off properly, like everybody who goes and leaves for vacation or do a project, putting someone over, looking up at the lights, getting 6 tsunamis, and save Braun Strowman for next week if you have to. I wanted to see that so bad. I thought that would have been so epic. The crowd would have loved it. Pat would have loved it. And then this was an alternative. It was fine, but I wanted what I wanted. I didn't get it. That would have really pumped up this show for you if you would have seen Pat McAfee get 6 tsunamis written off. That would have been an epic segment.
That is not boring. That is for sure. That is for sure. But seeing Braun Strowman back, I was like, that's a good person to go against Braun.
And what else does it tell you? Seth Rollins' vacation just got a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't think their rivalry is gonna end with one matchup. I think that maybe they do like a non-finish to that match next week and further it along a bit.
Sounds right. Count out. I haven't had a nice little count out in a bit.
Yeah. Next we hear
from Reed matches always have count outs too.
We got Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, and now we got Braun Breaker. He is backstage with Kathy Kelly, the Intercontinental Champion, talking about beating Sami Zayn last week. Braun was happy. He went to a highly educated university because he heard there would be a tournament starting next week to determine his next challenger. And that was funny to him because Pierce is just trying to slow him down because he was progressing too quickly. Braun said that it wasn't his fault that he was a badass. It wasn't his fault that he was a genetic freak. I love he said that. He's more talented than anyone in the locker room, and it wasn't his fault that the dogs were barking woo, 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 in every city that they went to. Braun earned the Intercontinental title and warned the eventual tournament winner, I'm going to spear you through the floor and give you the beating of a lifetime, and that will be my fault. I feel like Braun is getting better and better on the mic. This was a good promo.
It's my guy, Braun Breaker. It's my guy. It's NXT, man. It's NXT. He's got the whole world in front of him. All he has to do is avoid trouble. Don't get in trouble. Don't do anything stupid. And it's all there in front of you. The world for the taking to be the face of the company one day. It's all there.
Hey, I called this all the way back in 2022 that he would be the future. He's the next guy they're going to make after Roman Reigns.
100%.
The next face of the company.
And it won't be so hard to force him, because the guy can go in the ring, which is a big part of it. People respect that. And the mic work is getting better. And it's not going to be tougher. All he's got to do is be a badass. Be like Scott Steiner. If he's Scott Steiner on the mic, that's it. You good.
Yeah, Scott Steiner on the mic and Goldberg in the ring. That's going to be
way better Goldberg.
But way better work. Way better work. Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio was next, and no, we did not get that matchup. That was the scheduled matchup.
It's a trap.
Instead, it was a trap from the jump as Priest was entering. He turned around and decked Carlito, who tried to attack him from behind. He also knocked down JD McDonough and Finn Balor. He was about to chokeslam Balor, but JD is the first one to get his hands and help out Balor. Then we get Carlito saving Balor from a chokeslam as well. Priest took out Carlito and JD with super kicks as Balor bailed around the ring. Ripley appeared behind Dominic Mysterio in the ring, and Rhea headbutted Dirty Dom, and Priest dropped him with a big right hand. This led to Ripley going to the ringside area and pulling off the table stuff, the stuff off the table so she can deliver a riptide on Dirty Dom through the announce table. But from out of nowhere came Liv Morgan with a steel chair, hitting Rhea Ripley in the back. Balor and the rest of the Judgment Day swarmed Priest in the ring. Morgan taunted Priest as the Judgment Day held him. We had big yeet chants for Jey Uso, and we want Jey chants, but no Jey for the Terra Twins here. Morgan tossed Ripley around ringside into the announce table, into the ring post, shoulder first into her injured shoulder. In the ring, Priest got hit with the coup de grace from Finn Balor. Morgan put Rhea in the ring and hit the Oblivion, and then Dirty Dom hit Priest with the frog splash as the new Judgment Day stood tall, getting plenty of heat from this crowd in Fort Lauderdale. This felt like the only hot segment of the night. The Judgment Day storyline is the hottest thing going on Monday Night Raw, and this was another hot segment. And this is what I asked for last week: some heat for the new Judgment Day. They cannot come off like the putties, like easily defeatable heels against the Terror Twins. This is what they needed. Despite it being a trap that the Terror Twins knew about, they were able to execute it to a T. And then we heard from the new Judgment Day backstage after the commercial break. Balor said that was just a taste of what would happen to Priest and Ripley in Berlin. Morgan said that Dom was all man, and she would make Ripley her bitch in Berlin.
And did you hear Dom right after that? Oh, I love it when you talk dirty.
This was the best. This was the best segment of the night.
Yeah, you got what you wanted for them to get some heat. I understood the pacing of everything. Like, it was too freshly of a turn that you needed like Rhea and Priest to have like something past couple of weeks. So, but eventually the Judgment Day was going to get theirs when they had the numbers advantage like that. So, but then you can't keep having these segments and then the crowd keeps rooting for Jay, and Jay's just chilling, eating backstage. Roman, I understand on Friday. Roman owes Jay a big ass apology before Jay's even thinking about saving him. I understand that. But that was hilarious that he came out after the show went off the air for his Dark Show match and just yeeting. That was hilarious. But this you could see, he's been cool with Priest before. He loves himself some mommy, as you could see on social media. So it's kind of weird that he's backstage just chilling. We hear eventually what Jay's focused on and about Sammy, but I got to think eventually they're going to get sucked into this feud, this storyline. Because how long can the Terror Twins?
I think when Sammy comes back, we can get something like that.
How long you gonna like? It's very weird. Like the Terror Twins, like they can't do it on their own, can they? I guess they could.
They did it the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but man, it ain't gonna be like that every week.
We'll see. We got Power Drive Finisher says, first time I give a fuck about anything the whole Judgment Day is up to. It's a really hot feud. There's no denying it's getting the biggest reactions from the fans on Monday Night Raw. And this was another hot angle here that builds some heat going into Bash in Berlin, which was needed. Next up,
it's gonna really
something
be hot in Berlin.
Yeah, something that doesn't have any heat. The Women's Tag Team Championships are on the line. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn defending against Pure Fusion Collective. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark with Sonya Deville, as well as Damage Control's Io Sky and Kairi Sane. This match nearly got 10 minutes, 9.5 minutes overall. This match was designed to make really Sky and Sane look like the best team of the lot. They got really good like double team offense. You had Sky running wild on everyone. Sane and Sky hit fire with a double superplex off the middle rope, but Dawn broke up the pin. They traded moves until Kairi Sane hit a big spear on Alba Fire. Deville kept getting involved, so Sane knocked her off of the apron for a second time. The distraction allowed Baszler and Stark to take over, but Sane dropped them both with a flying crossbody. Sane and Baszler traded strikes until Baszler tried the Kurafita clutch after getting her. Then Sane escaped with a back fist. She went up top for the insane elbow, but Isla Dawn was able to tag herself in, which Sane didn't notice. Baszler caught Kairi in the Kurafita clutch, but then Isla Dawn tags in Alba Fire. She does a backstabber to Shayna Baszler, while Alba Fire does a senton with the knees onto Kairi and Shayna Baszler to pick up the 1, 2, 3. The Unholy Union retain the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. I have so many issues with this because they are not over. They were the least over in a trio of teams that has Pure Fusion Collective, but Pure Fusion Collective got more of a reaction during the intros to this matchup. than our champions. The Unholy Alliance name feels like the pride for Bobby Lashley and Street Profits, where they don't ever refer to them as the Unholy Union during the introductions to this matchup. They're just Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, and they just don't get any reaction. And this just seems like a long-term issue with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships that just never seems that WWE is ever focused on trying to fix.
Listen, nothing against Fire and Dawn, but like, what are they? Are they faces? Are they heels? What are they?
They're supposed to be heels.
Don't feel like it. Doesn't at all. That's why they get no reaction. Like, if they're supposed to be heels, they need to be better heels. They need to, like, it's not working at all. Like, I know what the Pure Fusion Collective is. I know they're heels. I know Damage Control's baby faces now. I don't feel anything with Fire and Dawn. And it's nothing against them, but something's got to be done to, like, get some kind of direction. Because just being the champs is not enough. Your champs cannot, they have to be over. You can't have champions that are not over. I feel so bad for them too, because they shouldn't have been. Well, they did all this because of they were in the freaking country. They wanted the pop of the crowd, the home crowd. That's why they did all this, not thinking what comes after.
They never thought of what do we do after this. They really should have just had Jade and Bianca, because Jade and Bianca are at least over. So like having the tag team titles on them is you are like, it's like the juxtaposition of the wrestler makes the title. Like, if you have an over tag team, keep the titles on them for a while and see if they can get the belts over. But they didn't even give them enough time.
No, I thought the finish of the match was pretty good, but like, it got crickets with the pinfall. Crickets.
Yep. We do have a super chat donation. Good to see you, Will Chisholm. We've missed you, Will. Where you been? Come on, Will. Will's here, and he says it's clear the fans wanted Io and Kyrie to win. I like the fact that Damage Control is getting over as baby faces. It was kind of a soft babyface turn that they had, but the fans seem to be behind them at least.
Yep. It just sucks that Dakota's out for a bit, and who knows when Asuka's coming back.
Yeah, very true. Very true. We got Chilling with Chase says, you would think you would want to feature Jade across all brands. I really feel like Jade and the couple of like botches and missteps that she had in her matches is the real reason why they haven't put the titles back on. They're still trying to get her more reps on like house shows and stuff like that before they put the titles back on.
Yeah, I still think that's the eventual direction, that they get the titles back. Because there's still so much time between now and Mania. And I still think the Mania match is Jade and Bianca one-on-one. Some split happens before then, where they get the tag titles and then they split. So still got a lot of time to fill. But yeah, you're right about the botches and stuff. She needs to get better. Because every time she has one of those little slip-ups in her matches, it brings down her aura a bit.
It does. It does. We did get backstage to Jackie Redmond, who interviews the aforementioned Jey Uso about potentially reuniting with Sami Zayn as a team now that Sami lost to Braun Breaker. Jey said that Zayn was taking some time off to clear his head. Zayn has been putting in work week after week, and he would be back with a vengeance. But before he left, Sami encouraged Jey to go for gold without him. So Jey says that he still is on his quest to win his first singles title in WWE, and he was entering in the Intercontinental title tournament that Braun Breaker mentioned earlier, and he would have the title on his shoulder the next time that Jey Uso is in your city. Yeet. Next week, Monday Night Raw, the Intercontinental Championship #1 contenders tournament will begin. So we know Jey Uso, probably someone like a Ilya Dragunov will be involved in that. Maybe a Ludwig Kaiser, a Sheamus, a Pete Dunne. So there's a couple of people that I can like pinpoint that could be in this. So it should be interesting. And they've been doing well with their tournaments as of late, coming off of the King and Queen of the Ring tournament.
Another tournament? What? This is very total.
What are we, AEW? What are we, AEW?
In the span off, the old man's rolling in his grave. 2 in a span of a few months. You kidding me? But hey, I'm all for it. Jey Uso, I could probably guarantee he's gonna win that. I don't think he's beating no Braun Breaker though. But again, that's more distractions of Jey. Jey not helping the Judgment Day anytime soon. Sorry, Rhea. Sorry, mommy.
Probably do that match, Jay and Braun coming out of the tournament at Bad Blood.
You would think, but you know how they love to give away matches for main events on Raw.
This is true. This is also true. Michael Cole then announces that Pat McAfee would be gone for a few months during the college game day and the college football season. They aired a video package for McAfee, which made it seem like he was leaving forever. McAfee sincerely thanked them for the video and spoke about how much this job meant to him. But he will be back on Monday Night Raw when they debut on Netflix in 2025. So
good news.
Good send off for Pat McAfee, and they're still a good team. But I think we've talked about it many times over the last couple of weeks. McAfee is not at the peak that he was when he first came around in 2022. But I thought that he was better. He kind of found himself again when he first came back at the beginning of 2024. So hopefully the time off in college game day will bring back that enthusiasm, that natural enthusiasm, that genuine enthusiasm that he had at the beginning of 2024.
I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss him. I'd rather he be tsunami'd on his way out, obviously, but I'm gonna miss him. And yeah, you could tell like they got real life chemistry. Him and Cole, they speak genuine about each other. They really like each other, so that's cool. But yeah, I can't imagine Pat McAfee on Netflix commentary. Woof, we're gonna hear more. We're gonna hear F-bombs from the commentary. Let's go.
Big son of a bitch. And then we had our main event, Ludwig Kaiser going one-on-one with Randy Orton. Kaiser was trying to have himself a slapper here as he started hitting Orton with some big chops early on. Orton launched him across the ring with a fallaway slam. Kaiser chopped him again outside of the ring, and Orton dropped him with a chop of his own. Orton was about to do the back suplex onto the announce table when GUNTHER showed up at the timekeeper's area. Kaiser kicked Orton's leg out of his leg and hit a back suplex onto the announce table. As Orton leaned against the steel steps, Kaiser did his run around the ring, drop kick to the knee into the steel steps, and worked over Orton's leg after the break. Kaiser tried running around the ring again, but Orton dropped him with a big old lariat. He then finally hit the back suplex on the announce table. Orton did it 3 more times as he looked over at GUNTHER, letting him know that's what's waiting for him in Berlin. Orton followed with a power slam in the ring, which Pat McAfee called vintage Orton. But Kaiser blocked the draping DDT, hit his leaping kick, which has been his finisher over the last couple of months, but only got a 2 on Orton. Orton responded with a big superplex off the middle rope. He then followed up with the draping DDT, which Michael Cole corrected McAfee and says, that is vintage Orton. Kaiser countered an RKO into a schoolboy for a near fall, but then Orton immediately gets up, hits the RKO for the 1-2-3. Randy Orton picking up the win in the main event. After the matchup, Orton draws the line in the sand for GUNTHER, and the two men start brawling as they sign off on this night. GUNTHER seemed out of place, and it looked kind of like a very clunky brawl between the two as we were closing off the show. As we ended the show, we get Orton with the eye poke, and then that led into Orton after the cameras cut on Monday Night Raw, hitting the RKO on GUNTHER to lay him out and stand tall ahead of Bash in Berlin. So,
what? This happened?
Yep. I would think you would have timed that better, WWE. This is like the second time in 3 months that WWE had the very mistimed ending to the show with how they ended it.
The last one was worse.
Yeah, the last one was worse because we missed the Dom and Liv kiss, but
very important.
Missing the RKO was kind of like not on the same level, but a level just below.
I'm sure Gunther's fine with that. Nobody saw it.
He said earlier tonight, "You're not going to catch me with that again."
Well, he caught him last week too. That's 2 weeks in a row. He did catch him last week, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Gunther. slacking twice.
But the main event was solid. Not a main event that I'm gonna remember though. It was very basic.
I thought it started slow, and then it picked up. I feel like Ludwig Kaiser had to like drop a level to like work the Randy Orton style, the Randy Orton main event style. I thought he did okay doing it. I like the part where Randy was just tossing him on the announce table repeatedly. I kind of thought he was just gonna keep doing it until he got counted out or disqualified, and just like did not care. Like, but he got the normal win. So he did what he had to do. Beat Gunther's lackey on the way to Bash in Berlin. The camera, yeah, you gotta do better with the timing at the end, so we get the RKO. You gotta do better. Somebody got yelled at.
But yes, that brings us to the end of Monday Night Raw. Guys, thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for the active chat that we had today. But final call for super chat donations. Show some love to me and Romeo for this Raw review. And of course, give us your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. And out of 10, what did you give the show? For me and Romeo for the August 19th, 2024 edition of Monday Night Raw in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs in the middle for me. Thumbs up for Romeo. Out of 10, what did you give the show, Romeo?
6.72. I'm gonna start giving my scores 3 numbers.
This guy's ridiculous. I'm actually closer to that, and that's why it gets a thumbs in the middle, because in my high school, me and Jimmy talked about this, a 7 out of 10, that is a thumbs up. That's passing. If you get anything below that, that's thumbs in the middle for me. So it's a 6.5. 6.5 out of 10. Not a bad show, but just a rather dull show. Nothing noteworthy other than the Judgment Day
angle. I enjoyed the main event. I enjoyed the opening match. I enjoyed the New Day angle. I mean, the New Day story. I don't know. It was a high 6, so I'll give it a thumbs up. High 6. If it was a mid 6 or a low 6, thumbs in the middle.
Yeah, I get it. Everyone has their own thumbs in the middle, thumbs up, thumbs down protocol. Romeo, who was your MVP for the show?
Randall Keith Orton. He was a major focus of the show with the opener and the main event, and he stood tall at the end.
I'm going to give it to the new Judgment Day. Not the Terror Twins, the new Judgment Day, because they finally stood tall and got some actual heat. Finally. Your LVP for the show, Romeo.
Two different factions. One is American made because of the stupid Shield gimmick that they think they're doing. And also, they keep trying to avoid the Wyatt Six. They keep getting punked by the Wyatt Six once again. And the other one's Final Testament, losing the tag, looking like this feud is over, nothing accomplished. Yeah, those two factions.
I'm gonna go LVP CM Punk. CM Punk, I know you're able to be a fiery babyface. You have enough reason, or you should have enough reason to be pissed off with Drew McIntyre. We just need to see it. Stop pandering for the fans' cheers and focus on Drew McIntyre. I don't need a 10-minute promo where 8 of the minutes you're pandering for cheers and talking about fans having cancer and all that other stuff. It's fine. It's great emotional stuff for some people. For me, I need to be into what you're actually doing on this show, and I wasn't.
You better get that next week.
I hope.
The go home show. You better get fired.
I hope so.
Facebook.
I hope so. And what was your match of the night?
Sheamus done. Despite my feelings on who won.
I'm gonna go with Sheamus and Pete Dunne as well. We are in agreement on that. We had everything different up until the
by the
match
way.
of the night.
By the way, I couldn't really hear the crowd too well during that match. Did they chant Butch at all?
They did chant it early on a little bit.
I saw that they went to commercial break and they had, did you see this? They had Samantha Irvin announce on a live mic to the crowd, Pete Dunne does not want to be called Butch. They were trying so hard to get this crowd to chant Butch at him, that they do that during the commercial break. And apparently it didn't really work.
Nah,
Which is
it
not
worked.
fun to chant. It's not fun to chant. Nobody's gonna chant it.
No. They
So
want
just
to.
give it up.
They
give
want
it.
it, but it's not gonna happen.
Pete Dunne get over in other ways. Trust me, WWE. Trust me. He's pretty good. Pretty good.
He
Believe it.
is.
Believe it.
But that brings us to a close on another edition of Rated Raw Review. We're on a nice run of Rated Raw Reviews. Always have a good time talking about this show, even when we disagree. But then when you told me your score is not that far from me. So should have been thumbs in the middle as well, Romeo.
Nah,
but
it's a high
I'm not going to hold it. Like I said, everybody has their own thumbs protocol. But thank you, Romeo, for joining me today. Let everybody know where they can follow you and when they'll see you again.
Romeo Damas, all social media. You'll see me again Sunday. AEW. All in. Watch party. Let's watch.
I'll try my best. If I am in Wembley Stadium, if I have service, I will try to jump in to say hi with all the crowd noise and everything. Maybe I'll bring my headphones, these headphones with me, and jump in.
You gonna be in the media scrum?
I still haven't figured out my ticket. I will reveal to all of y'all that AEW has once again denied me a media ticket. Like they said, we're limited on media credentials. Nigga, why y'all acting like y'all sold out? Y'all not sold. Y'all gave me a ticket when I was in America and couldn't come here when y'all was at 81,000 last year, but you can't give it to me when you're at 50,000 this year? Bullshit. But I still have my ways, or I will probably by the end of the week when prices go even more down, buy a cheap ticket to get in there and then move down to the lower section.
AEW doesn't care about black people.
You said it. I didn't. You said it. I didn't. Clip this and put it on Twitter and tag Tony Khan in AEW. But you can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat, $3 a month. Gets you exclusive content. That's the best place to support us when we are not live here. Go over to the True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment channel where we did our Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 1 review with me and the True Jaw Josh. Check out all the great content we got on the channel, like our NJPW G1 Climax 34 final review. And I will be back here live on Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time with AE Ramble reviewing the Go Home Show to AEW All In with Dynamite. But until next Tuesday with Romeo, for Romeo, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been Rated Raw Review number 31, a bracelet for Drew. We are signing off until next time.